Yo, good people. It's your homie Herbman, and you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie Herbman is on. And if you're new to the program, we want to welcome you. All right. And we want you to go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen right there and hit that notification bell so that you guys don't miss what we're bringing to these platforms. All right. And remember, you guys is always free to like, share, and subscribe. So I want to talk to you guys today about some very important information. I know that they're talking about the uptick on dealing with the pandemic, and a lot of people are afraid of the vaccine, and you just really don't know what you can do to get it done. Well, first of all, I want you guys to look at some of my videos that we've covered a lot of the stuff that you can do during this time. You can also go visit my website at leafofvitalessential.com. We have pretty much over 100 products on there, definitely over 100 herbs, and we have a lot of herbs that are going to be very fruitful, very beneficial at building your immune system and things of that nature. I just don't want to keep going over the same information, but I also want you guys to know how you can take care of yourself without taking any herbs, without taking any pills, without taking any tinctures, without taking any type of extra stuff. And that's just simply allowing food to be your medicine. Okay, at treating food as your medicine, that means we got to be eating the right foods. Okay, and so what this video today is talking about is our inability to really get the vitamin and mineral supplementation from our foods that we actually really need. And a lot of it is due to not only how we mass produce our foods, but again, some other stuff is done based on just our diets and how we eat on a day-to-day basis, and just building our plate to be the type of plate that will give us the vitamins and minerals that we actually need. Okay, and so what this video is talking to you today about is Nutricide 2020. Okay, Nutricide 2020. One of the great authors and one of the great health people that I was able to sift through and kind of learn from was Dr. Laila Africa, who has passed away, and he came out with a book called Nutricide. I ask you guys to go out there and pick that up. But what we want to talk about is Nutricide 2020, and what we're talking about is that we're dealing with the same information that Dr. Africa was trying to tell us. We're still dealing with that, and we really haven't gotten the real understanding of what actually we're dealing with, because if we understand that we're being nutritionally deprived, then you'll understand that you have to do certain things practically to really help yourself be healthy. There's no longer a room for us to just be kind of walking through this with our eyes closed. Okay, we really do have to open our eyes and understand what we have to do to create longevity within our own selves, and to create health, and to create just a whole empire where we're understanding the body in its totality, and we're giving this body the optimal foods to bring out the optimal performance that really it was designed to do for us. We just don't really know all of what this body is capable of doing. And from a physical standpoint, a lot of it has to do with we're not giving our bodies the right vitamin and mineral supplementation that it needs. And so we're all out here vitamin and mineral deficiency. And I also want to share to you that 95% of the gene damage or the gene mutation that is done has been said to be done from vitamin and mineral deficiency. Again, 95% of why our genes mutate, and autoimmune diseases, all of these germs and bacteria, all these different ailments and diseases that's going on is really due to a lot of the vitamin and mineral deficiency. And the reason why is because if you had the correct vitamin and mineral supplementation in your body, in your foods that you're drinking and eating every day, your body could fight off a lot of stuff before you even know that you could have been sick. You see what I'm saying? Your body is a very, very strong weapon, and you can de-weaponize your body by not giving it the right vitamins and minerals that it needs on a day-to-day basis. So what'll happen is your your army, your navy, your military system, your immune system will begin to show signs of weakness in certain areas, and it will allow the germs and the toxins and everything that's from our environment, the water, the food, and even our stressors. It will begin to break us down slowly but surely, because we don't have what we need. And also, vitamin and mineral intake supplementation will also help our cravings for all of this processed food and sugars and salts that we continue to keep craving in our taste buds. Is because you don't have the right supplementation. So therefore, you're forever hungry. You're forever trying to eat something all the time, just simply because you're not being satisfied. And the food that you are eating, especially the salts, the sugars, the breads, and the processed foods, they burn like this. And then you're back at trying to refuel your tank. Okay, so again, a lot of that is due to the fact that there's not enough vitamin and minerals in our foods. And the reason why is because we're mass producing them, and we're having to shoot them with so much herbicides and pesticides and chemicals and all of this type of stuff, that by the time you boil your vegetables and try to get all that crap out, you also have boiled out all the good stuff. So we're actually playing chemotherapy with our foods. Okay, we're taking out the good and the bad. And we're having to do that so that we can make sure that the food is clean and that the food is got all of that chemicals off. And by the time you sit there and do that, it has no vitamins or no minerals for you as well. And so that's what we're kind of doing, and that's why we're all really under this Nutricide right here. We're all committing Nutricide to ourselves. And it don't matter if you're vegan, vegetarian, whatever you want to call yourself. If you're not growing your own food, if you don't know what the sources are of that food, if you don't know what they're putting on that food, then pretty much you're going to have to cook it in a certain way that you're going to deplete the vitamins and minerals that are inside of that food. Okay, so we got to understand what we're going to do to combat the fact that we don't have enough vitamins and minerals in our foods that we're intaking. Okay, and some of the ways that we can do that is, first we got to know what should be in our food on our plate. So you definitely need to have some protein. Okay, you definitely need to have some protein on your plate. And when I talk to you about these things, you guys, this is just not only for breakfast. It's going to be for lunch. It's going to be for dinner. You got to figure out a way to give yourself the vitamins and minerals you need. And your goal is going to come from protein, your carbs, and your fats, you guys. Okay, protein, carbs, and fats. That's what you're going to need. Okay, now we all know that what proteins are. We think that it's just meat, but it's not. But it can be meat. It can be fish. You got your beans. You got nuts, seeds. You got a lot of this stuff that will give you some protein. Okay, your carbs. It don't just have to be pasta and bread. Okay, it can be green leafy vegetables, which also give you some carbs, you guys. It can also be your fruits, which also will give you some carbs, you guys. So it don't necessarily just always have to be starches. Okay, it can be green leafy vegetables, fruits, but it also could be your yams and your potatoes and things of that nature. All right, fats. What we want here is unsaturated fats. We don't want the saturated ones. We want unsaturated, right? And these comes from your nuts and your seeds. Okay, your nuts and your seeds. So again, you need to have breakfast with these three on it. You need to have lunch with these three on it. And you need to have dinner, if you're eating 3 times a day, with these 3 on it. If you're eating 2 times a day, you need to have 2 plates with these on it. If you're eating 1 time a day, you need to have 1 plate with all of this stuff on there. Okay, and also you need to watch your portion sizes. Okay, you need to watch your portion sizes. You don't need to have everything on your plate. You don't need to have everything on your plate, guys. Also, eggs can be a protein too. So if you like breakfast, you can do some eggs, a granola bar. You can do a handful of almonds, and that's it. You would have gave yourself protein, carbs, and fats. Okay. For dinner, it's just for lunch, it's the same way. Go out and find you a protein. You can have a little rice and beans. That would take over your protein and carbs, and then sprinkle some have you a handful of sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds or something like that, and there go your protein, carbs, and fats again. Okay, if you wanted to do a salad, then you can just do some olive oil or coconut oil on that salad, right? There go your good fats. Okay, so there are ways for you to get around it, but you got to know the information, you guys. And that's what my channel is about. And I hope you guys are telling people about the channel so that they can come, because I'm going to keep hitting you guys with this health, bro. I know you guys may not want it day in and day out, but for me personally, I feel like it is the most important message that I can continue to come on this particular platform, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, and give you this information. All right, there's a lot of stuff out there about wealth, and look, I have my own hands in a lot of that stuff. Business is imperative, but you can't do business if you're sick. Okay, so what we need to do is make sure that every time we thinking about putting something in our bodies, that we create our plates. Okay, and a portion size, again, protein should be at the size of the palm of your hand. Okay, proteins, no matter who you are, it should fit in the palm of your hand, and that should be the size of the fish, the meat that you're trying to eat. Okay, when you're talking about fruits and vegetables, you should have about a half a cup to a cup of fruits and vegetables. And when we're talking about the fats, you need to have about probably about an ounce of good unsaturated oil. Okay, if you're going to do the oil, you need to have about an ounce, just a little 1 ounce of it. Okay, all the way down to maybe a teaspoon of this stuff here. You don't need a whole lot of fats. All right, but you do need this combination of macronutrients in order for your body to really get a well-rounded meal. And what I will still put into this is, if you can, you guys, make this stuff whole food, plant-based. Make it whole food, plant-based. And if you can do that, if you can do rice and beans and you're okay, you don't need any meat and fish, that's what I would prefer. Okay, that's what I would prefer you guys do, man, so that you can get your body really in that condition. Again, green leafy vegetables and the fruits will really give you the fiber that you need, to where when you're out here in this world and you're out here trying to work, that you can do your thing. Also with the carbs are the grains, and I did a video about the grains as well. We're talking about amaranth, quinoa, millet, quinoa, some of those types of things. They can take over your carbs. Oats, okay, can take over that too. And having an oatmeal in the morning with a little egg and a couple of almonds or walnuts, protein, carbs, fats, great breakfast. Fruits, having a little egg and a cup of blueberries and some almond nuts or something is a great breakfast. It's a great breakfast. And then you just keep duplicating that at lunch, and you don't have to have the same stuff, but you make your meal plan based on these things here. And I also have given you guys the traditional African foods. You got the other foods out there that you can look at, so that you can just kind of put all of this in its proper perspective, to where when you're going to the grocery store, you're looking for whole food plant-based proteins, whole food plant-based carbs, and whole food plant-based fats. And they're out here, you guys. It's just that you didn't know that you need all of this every single time you're opening your mouth, putting something in your body. And all of these are just energy foods as well. These are your energy foods here. So this is what gives you the energy that you need. And that's why grains are down in here. Okay, this protein here, this is going to be good for everything in the body, but especially the muscle, right? Gonna be good for your muscles. So you got one for your cellular energy, one for your muscles, and this is here. Fats is always going to be, especially the unsaturated, is always going to be good for brain functionality as well. Okay, our cholesterol and all of that, the brain really thrives in that fat. Okay, so the fats are going to be good for brain. Carbs are going to be good for your cells. Proteins are going to be good for your muscle function and your bones. I mean, you can't go wrong, because then you would be giving the body, especially on the whole food plant-based synergy, when you're doing protein carbs like this, you're giving your body the whole. That's why it's called whole food plant-based. You want to give your body the whole plant. And what we're doing is we're taking little active ingredients out of certain things, and we're only giving you a minute portion of the plant. All right. When you take a pill, you're only getting 1% active ingredient that's in the whole plant. Okay, because they didn't want you to have the whole plant. They just took out what was necessary, and then only still give you a little bit of that active ingredient. We don't want you to get the little bit anymore, guys. We want you to get the whole food. We want you to get the whole thing in your diet. Okay, we want you to stop playing around with just a little bit of here and just a little bit of there, because it's definitely not enough, and you can see that, right? Because you got to take the whole pill bottle. You're gonna have to. They're only putting 1% ingredient in it. So by the time you did the whole pill bottle, you only got what? Maybe 3%, 30% of a product, when you could have got 100% that's in the actual food itself. And that's why we keep talking about utilizing food as your medicine, because once you're eating whole plants, okay, then you get all of the magic that whole plants holds within its stems, its roots, within its flowers, its buds. I mean, man, when you're talking about eating a whole plant, if you didn't know what was in this part of the plant or this part of the plant, when you eat the whole thing, you'll get to know about it, and it can be very beneficial to other parts of your body. You don't want to keep taking a little pill that only has one little active ingredient in it, and you're sitting here trying to deal with your heart situation or your liver situation or your pancreas situation or your kidney situation or your brain situation. You want to be able to have something to go in there and do its thing, and you want to be able to do it naturally, where it don't have any kind of side effects to you, and it's not chemotherapy over everything just to get you healthy again. You don't want to do that. We've been doing that far too long, committing chemotherapy on our bodies, on our foods, on our water. We're just taking everything out of it because a few bad things, and we can't get the good nor the bad. Okay, and this is not going to bode well for us moving forward, especially if we're going to become this sickly generation that obviously they're trying to make us become. So we're going to have to already have ourselves armored with the knowledge and the understanding of what we're going to do to combat and be at a defense toward what is coming our way. So if sickness is coming down the pipe, I ain't trying to get sick. I'm trying to get the knowledge that it's going to take for me to be able to be healthy. Now, one thing that they're saying is, you say it's a lot of chemicals in the mass production food. Well, I'm going to have to learn how to grow my own food, so that I don't have to even worry about going to the grocery store and having to choose between bad, better bad, or worse. So I ain't even got to choose between that, right? Because I will have those things in my backyard or in my basement or wherever I'm trying to grow at, right? Then another thing is about your water, okay? You guys gonna have to figure out how to filter your water. Try to get some of these chemicals and pesticides and all that stuff is in the water as well. All right, but there are ways, you guys, for us to get around what is going on. There are ways for us to circumvent these things. We just got to go back to our original plan here, and we got to get back out into the ground, and we just have to do things the old-fashioned way. When it comes to our health and our food, we're going to have to take back food production and water production, and we got to do it in our own means. Okay, we can't let the government continue to feed us and continue to give us what they think is safe water. We're just going to have to take into our own hands to make sure that this stuff is pristine for our own families. Okay, and there is great value in learning how to agriculture, not just simply from a freedom standpoint of being able to take the freedom back and not have to worry about your food and your water, because once you take back that part of your life, there's really not a whole lot else that they can do to you, right? There's really not a whole, because right now you're working to do these things. if you make this your work, then you're good to go. Okay. Now the adult male should have about 2,000 calories per day. Try to stay around that number, you guys. The adult female needs to have about 1,600 calories per day. So start reading the labels on what you're eating and start making sure that you can actually get up to around this number here. And then start making sure that you can burn this off. Now, when you're eating whole food, plant-based foods, it becomes very easy to start burning this off, but it will take you a lot longer because this is not processed food. So if you go eat a burger right now, you're burning off in an hour. It's not going to happen like this. Once you start eating like this, you guys, you're not going to be as hungry as you used to. Okay, you're not going to be as hungry as you used to. A lot of these will start to last a lot longer. These meals will start lasting a lot longer for you, which means that you'll start having a lot better energy while you're performing at work or when you're performing in your sporting events. This is going to be good for high performance, you guys. No matter if you are a sports player or no matter if you're just a worker, I think that we all need to make sure that we understand how to give our bodies the optimal foods and nutrition and vitamins and minerals that it needs in order for it to perform at its optimal level, no matter if we're walking, teaching, running, preaching. I don't care what you're doing. I want this thing to operate at its optimal peak, because here's the caveat. You never know what you can get out of the body when it does that, right? It may start showing you things you never saw before. It may start inspiring you to do things that you never thought to even think about before. Why? Because once you start eating right, you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start doing better, and you're going to start thinking better about life, about your health, just about everything in general. And if you're starting to think better, you're starting to do better, and you're starting to eat better, there is no real reason why your life shouldn't be getting better. You will get better. You will get better. All right. And this not only is going to be a healthy diet for you, this also is going to be a great weight loss diet. This is going to be a great cardiovascular diet. This is going to be a great diabetic diet. This is going to be a great cancer diet. This is going to be a great mental health diet. This is going to be a great digestive system diet. This is everything, guys. This is everything. And it's all about how you put this into practicality inside of your homes. Ladies, if you're looking at this video, start shopping and eating this way, and just start feeding your family this way. Especially if you are the one feeding your family, let's start feeding them the right things. Kids are going to have problems with this at first, maybe not, right? But hey, when I was growing up, I didn't have a say-so over what I ate. I just ate it. I couldn't cook it, so I had to eat it. Right. So at some point they will begin to see that this is all we have to eat. You're either going to eat or not. Okay. And also it will become a educational and internal thing that they will hold on to, so that when they grow up and get their families, they know what to do. First is to make sure you got a garden out there. You know how to garden. Make sure you got your water good and filtrated, right? And you're getting good water inside the home. We're going to substantiate that first, which will then factor into how they look at real estate, what kind of houses they choose to buy. They also going to be looking at land, what kind of land they choose to buy, what kind of soil is in that land. They're going to know a whole lot going into home buying, land ownership. All of this stuff will start affecting your kids in such a way to where now you're starting to find the new generation needing and requiring land ownership, right? Needing and requiring land for their home ownership, right? I mean, all of this stuff starts to filter into our community to where we're starting to make our community more aware of the Nutricide that's been going on, that Dr. Layla Africa was trying to tell us about. And I encourage all you guys to go pick up that book. But we're also talking about it's continuing on into the future. And it's not going to stop, you guys. Nobody's going to start putting vitamins and minerals in your food. You're going to have to do that. Nobody's going to, make sure that the pipes coming to your house is the filters are clean. You're going to have to do that. Okay. And if you're not going to fight the big pharma companies, and we're not going to fight the big food companies, and we're not going to do that, then the very things that we can do is take control over what comes in our own homes and what comes in our own families and what comes in our own bodies. We can do that. And so that's what this video is about. And I wanted you guys to very much be aware that if you're trying to really, do something for the pandemic and for the flu season and for all of these things that's coming down the pipe, and you thinking that you can just take some pills or some drugs and you haven't necessarily fixed your eating habits may be the very door that's being left open for diseases and germs to come in. It may be the very way for the toxins and the germs to come in and start infecting your body. You could be taking all the immune support stuff you want to, but because of your bad diet, it's still leaving a loophole somewhere that's allowing people to come in through the back door. So in order for us to really play defense on this thing, especially when we're talking about our immune system here, we're really going to have to close up the door on how these things get in, and food and water is definitely got to be the two that we're looking at first and foremost. And then we definitely got to figure out how we can work in a particular environment that, give us some sense of sanity, that don't stress us out, stress us down, that don't keep our adrenalines all up and our cortisol all out of whack. Okay, we need to make sure that we start to just mandate a certain environment for this great tool we call the body. And we're going to have to really understand that we got to get our vitamin and mineral deficiency up to par for us to be able to fight off any other thing that's coming down our way, guys. All right, so I didn't want to make this video long, you guys, but I definitely want to make it strong. Again, if you guys got questions, concerns, please feel free to leave stuff down in the comment section. We'll get back in contact with you. If you want to hit me up on the email, it's herbman@loveherbman.com. I appreciate all of the support thus far. We're going to keep on busting you guys upside the head because I ain't never scared. All right, I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Till next time, love Herbman. Yo, good people. Welcome to the Herbman Show.